Hi there, very good morning to you and welcome to Clocking the Gallop's preview of today. I'm flying solo on this Tuesday, the very first day of November, to talk about the meeting at the Vaal. It is the first time that we're back at the Vaal on the main track, so it's great to see and hoping that we have a good meeting out there. A lot of races up the straight, so pay particular attention to where the horses have the going in the straight today, and we'll be watching those races extremely closely. The track condition, however, is good. They have had rain in the last 7 days. They're 29 millimeters of rain in the last 7 days. Expected to be cloudy today with an 80% chance of thunderstorms and a maximum of 24 degrees. And in addition to the 29 millimeters of rain, 9 millimeters of irrigation put down on the track. The penetrometer 22. So it is still pretty hard, but at least the rain has come in the last couple of weeks. Pierce Stradham not riding today. He's medically indisposed. We wish him a quick recovery and hoping that he rides that 5,500th winner shortly. Before we kick on with today's proceedings, just wanted to wish our friend and sometimes contributes to Clocking the Gallop. Everyone will know him, the international caller from Dubai, Alistair Cohn. It's his birthday today, so very happy birthday to you, Alistair. And I know that you follow Clocking the Gallop pretty closely, so we're wishing you all the best in Dubai. I know that racing started there in the last week, and so we'll be hearing his dulcet tones coming through on our airwaves shortly. Right, I have asked Lyall for his opinion in terms of a place accumulator, which I'll be going through his numbers and comparing them to my numbers as well. Unfortunately, Neil Andrews is busy, so he's not had a chance to look at the card yet, but the Ben Mag horse is running today, ready to fly in the third race. And I think he said he was traveling out to the Vaal to go and watch her run in race 3. So let's go on with the meeting today, and I'll take you through the changes as well as the betting. Here is the betting for race number 1. And race 1 on the card is a maiden plate. It's up the straight, and it is over 1,600 meters. In the first of the day, at number 12, Arctic Time, races with earmuffs. So that is a change for number 12, Arctic Time. Now, if we look at the betting, the money is all for number 16, World's Best, who had a good debut run, ran 2 lengths behind Just Eminent. And that was around the turn where it wasn't particularly well drawn. It is drawn at 2, so we're taking it that that draw isn't too bad, but all the money has come for World's Best, shortened in from 5 to 2 into half that price. It's now into 12 to 10. So a lot of money on this particular horse. And why not? I mean, it really ran a good race to Just Eminent last time out, and he would probably be the horse to beat, provided that he takes to the straight 1,600 meters. If you're looking for value, I found 2 horses here that might be the value. The horse just above it in the race card, US Open. Gavin Larena rides particularly well for Fani Broncos when he sits on one of them. And it's the first time that he gets the chance on this. I think this horse will relish the straight course, number 15, US Open, and did improve somewhat last time out. So it has drifted because of the support for World's Best. So I think that is a runner. And the other one that I wanted to bring into line here was number 7, the 12 to 1 chance, What Say You? It's the half-brother to Lake Kinneret. Keegan DeMello gets aboard. He's riding very well. And I also think that this will like that long straight. So I thought that was the value in race 1, number 7, What Say You? A quick mention also for number 13, Celtic Rush, because he had a good debut. He didn't finish, he did finish just in front of US Open. So US Open and Celtic Rush bring in the same form of Sam the Wiseman. I'm expecting more improvement, though, from US Open having his 3rd run now. So that's a look at the first race, the money all for World's Best, and watch that one closely in the first race, but I do like some others there in terms of the value. That is the start of the bipod. Race 2 starts of the place accumulator. It's a maiden plate, fillies and mares, and once again, it is up the straight over the 1,600. There are 3 scratchings now here. Number 7, All Around Love. Number 10, Go Flickety. And also number 18, Island Beauty. So we've got 15 of them racing here in race number 2. Right, where do I start? I'm going to start with number 4, Gavin Larena once again for Fani Broncos. I like this a little bit. Rosie Lemon, good last run, well, fair last run behind Benete. and Bonete has certainly come up the blocks firing. And I think Rosie Lemon at 11-2 may be the value in this race. Further down, number 17, Solo Diva. Ryan Munger picks up the ride. So just to note that Ryan is now on that one. And that is pretty interesting because he rides well for Tyrone Zaki, and he's ridden a number of winners for Tyrone in the last couple of weeks. So I think number 17, Solo Diva, gets a mention there. They put a compression mask on number 16, Namakwa Blossom, who I'm expecting a bit of improvement from with Raymond Danielson up. Like he's got a couple of runners in this race. I quite like Namakwa Blossom, number 16, to make a forward, make major improvements over here. And then another one that I wanted to mention was number 8, Can't Fool Me, who is at 6-1, number 8. Gavin, Muzieni rides this one for Gavin van Zyl. And I also think number 8, Can't Fool Me, deserves to be chucked in as well. So if I'm looking at the numbers that Lyall's also given me, he's mentioned 17, Solo Diva. He quite likes the 8, Can't Fool Me, but he's also put in number 13, Last Wild One, a daughter of Mamba in Seattle, who wasn't too far off the premises on debut and finished about 5 lengths back behind the much vaunted Little Miss Moneybags. So, we have a different opinion over here. I think this is pretty open. Even at wider net, might want to cast in number 1, Brazilian Storm at 8-1. You might want to put that in too. But my firm belief here is 4, Rosie Lemon, 17, Solo Diva, 16, Namakwa Blossom. Those are my top 3 in the second. Let's move on to race 3, the start of the pick 6. This is off at 1. It's a fillies and mares 72 divided handicap, and another race up the straight 1600. Here you can scratch number 11 is out. Meet the Captain has gone. And number 5, A Colourful Past, will now have a tongue tie fitted. So tongue tie goes on A Colourful Past in this one. Right, looking at the betting. Well, Mike de Kock is confident that Ready to Fly will run a forward race. In his message to us in the last week, he said that he's going to chuck her in. She's doing really well at home. He's always thought fairly highly of her. He's put her in this contest to shoulder top weight, but he thinks she is ready to fly, and therefore she is one of our inclusions in our place accumulator. The other 3-year-old, number 3, Light of Day, interested me because she has got some good recent runs. She receives 2 kilos from our horse Ready to Fly, and she's also a daughter of Give Me the Green Light. So Muzieni for Paul Matchett, I think, warrants inclusion. Number 3, Light of Day. The other one that I'm chucking in is the 20-1 runner, number 8, Fascinada, from the older horses, because she is receiving 7 kilograms from Ready to Fly and 5 kilos from Light of Day, and her form isn't too bad. And her last run behind Arrivedercio, when she wasn't big receipt of 8 kilos, was about 6 lengths back. So I wanted to chuck in number 8, Fascinada, as a possible force to improve over here. I see that Lars added in number 5, A Colourful Past, who now has the tongue tie on. I just believe that Light of Day had a Colourful Past measure on the run back at the Vaal on a classic track on the 21st of July. Light of Day is down 2 kilograms and A Colourful Past is down 4.5, but I don't think it's enough to make up the 5 1/4 length deficit. So I'm firmly with number 3, Light of Day, more than I am with number 5, A Colourful Past. And Muzieni seems to have made that decision too. Right, let's move on to race 4, which is the kicking off of the first jackpot at 5-2. It's a fillies and mares 89 divided handicap. Again, they're racing up the straight. Here you can scratch number 8, Call the Wind, is scratched in race 4, and number 3, Lee Express, comes out wearing a pressure halter. So here's the betting. The money is for Mike's chick number 1. Mike de Kock and Keegan DeMello team up. And this is for Lady Christine Laidlaw's Kaya Stables. They opened at 16-10. It shortened into 12-10. She's never run up the Vaal straight. In fact, she has. She has run over 1,200 meters before, and she ran 3rd. And in fact, that was early on in her career, in her debut run, where she ran behind Alabama Anna. It wasn't too bad a run, but she hasn't run up this long Vaal straight before. and that will still be the question mark, carrying 61.5 kilos. She obviously deserves that because of her rating being 92. But for me, the value is definitely with number 5, Magical Flight. She came to form 2 runs back where she beat Tabby Cat. She receives as many as 5 kilograms from Mike's Chick, and I think that puts her in with a big chance for Calvin Hibbert and Sean Terry. The Terry stable will be a bit quiet. They weren't really in great form on the weekend, but I think Magical Flight is one to throw in. And another one that I wanted to throw in was Mike de Kock's coupling, number 6, Lyall. I think Lyall will do pretty well today and comes in with 56 kilos. So I restricted this to the 3 horses for me, 1, 5, and 6 in race number 4. Right, race 5 opens up the second of our jackpots today. It's off at 2:30, and it's a merit-rated 82 handicap. It's the first race around the turn, and they're going 2,000 meters in race 5. The jockey for number 5, Great Affair, is Ryan Munger. So Ryan Munger picks up the ride on that one. And that's the only change. Okay, let's go to the betting here and see what's happening. Here, the money is for number 10, Alphatic. Well, this horse was a very fluent maiden winner when running over 2,000 meters at Turfington on the inside track. It opened up in the market at 3.5 to 1, and it is all the way into 9 to 4. So the money has come for Alphatic to go better than his last win. He comes in with 56 kilos, so it is a bit of a tight call with him coming in with a lot of weight. The horse that's very consistent in the race has to be number 8, 5th of July. He's had 4 seconds in a row, and in fact, if you look at his last 8 starts, he's had 6 seconds out of 8 runs. So I think he could well finish right up there again today from a very good draw. Diego de Gouveia is his regular partner and has done really well on him. So I'm thinking that 5th of July offers the value in the race here, and he is quoted at 7 to 1. Alphatic will have obvious claims. Who else did I put in to the race with a chance? Well, Alistair's birthday today, so maybe Banner Bridge can do something for him, number 13 on his birthday. That's at 8 to 1. There's money for this horse, Tyrus Express, and I'll tell you a little bit about this horse. It's a very interesting runner because in his last run, he was an 84 rating. He is now a 66. So in one run, he has dropped a total of 18 points, and that is humongous. Caden Brewer rides him, and Caden Brewer won 2 feature races on Saturday. He won the Graham Beck and he won the Java handicap. So that is a very interesting horse in the race, number 14, Tyrus Express. Not drawn particularly well, but it is 2,000 meters to go. But look at that money as well, from coming from 33 to 1 into 12 to 1. So there's a bit of money around for the 14 Tyrus Express. I'd chuck it into jackpots and pick sixes. I thought those were the horses that I wanted to mention from my perspective. I'm just having a look now at Lyall's numbers in the PA. He has gone 8, 13, 5, and 10 were his numbers here. So 8, 5th of July, 13, Banner Bridge. He's put in the 5, Great Affair, and the 10, Alphatic. So the numbers for Lyall were 8, 13, 5, and 10. Right, let's move on if we can, and without any further interruptions, hopefully, with the noise in the background. Race 6 is off at 3:05. This is a merit-rated 96 handicap, and it's over 1,400 meters up the straight. Interesting scratching here, number 2, Wafif, who I gave a bit of a chance to. That's not going to be running today. Race 6, number 2, is out. So do take note of that. This is very open, and we'll look at the betting here, where the money has come for number 5, Gallic Tribe. Well, he was a very, very good winner in his first run on the high front, where he beat Duke of Sussex comfortably by 1.5 lengths. He's been backed in from 4 to 1 to 5 to 2, and I think he may well follow up today. So he is on my shortlist, number 5, Gallic Tribe. The horse below him, I put a question mark over the course and distance. I think that with Gavin Lorena on him, he'll go pretty close. So Tuscan Winter would also probably get a mention here. Shortens in from 4 to 1 into 33 to 10. So I'll put both 5 Gallic Tribe and 6 Tuscan Winter in. The other horse I wanted to mention was number 3, Sir Michael. Now, here's a horse at a bit of a value price. Sir Michael is at 10 to 1. I think he'll like the straight course. He goes over the straight 1400 for the first time. And my cat's agreeing with me, by the way, if you can hear him in the background. Sir Michael, I think, is at 10 to 1, offers a little bit of value here. And I think you can probably look at him to go fairly well. The Candice Dawson stable is doing really well at the moment. And I thought he was the value horse in the race, number 3, Sir Michael. So I'm putting in 3, 5, and 6. Whirly, we always seem to go for down at the bottom. If we leave him out, he'll pop up at 8 years old. But he's at 16 to 1, and he deserved to mention too. Lyall is also putting in Barney's Pride, number 4. I think Barney's Pride has held on a few runs there, and I preferred others. But my value in the race, definitely Sir Michael here at 10 to 1. Okay, we move on to race 7. It's off at 15:35, the penultimate race. It's a novice handicap. It's over 1,200 meters. And in race 7, there's a few equipment changes. Blinkers go on number 8, Pinch Hit. And number 9, Ramchandani Road has no shoes on today. So race is unshod and also will not wear the blinkers. So no blinkers for number 9. Ramchandani Road, also no shoes for that horse as well. Let's go to the choices over here. Well, there's money for Toffers here from 25 to 1 has shortened into 8 to 1. So that's clearly the money horse. Now, Thunderstone's been a bit of an enigma. I've always liked him from the moment he stepped on the race course. He won his debut so well over 800 meters, but he hasn't put it together subsequent. Maybe with a sting out the ground, and I'm blaming it on the hard conditions that he has just found it particularly tough. But with the rain having come, I think Thunderstone may well be the horse to beat with Gavin Lorena back aboard for Roy Magna. So I think my top choice here would be Thunderstone. I have healthy respect for the filly What You Waiting For, number 3, but she's been coming back from a rest 5.5 months. We saw Terry's 2 fillies under your spell and Rain in Holland probably needing the runs when they came out on Saturday. So the same might be said of this, although it is in receipt of 4.5 kilos from Thunderstone. The other horse that I wanted to mention here was number 6, Vasilikos, at 16 to 1, because he's only carrying 53.5 kilos, and he could be a nice outsider to chuck in your perms. But I think if I look at it here, Thunderstone would be the horse to beat. So I'm going 1 to win it, from 3, 6, and maybe the money horse 4, who I didn't really like, but you have to respect the support for it. That takes us to the last of the day, another 1,200-meter straight race. It's run at 10 past 4. It's a merit-rated 72 handicap. Changes in race 8. There are 2 scratchings now. Number 11, Twice as Wild, and number 18, After Hours. Very happy to report, because I like this horse. Number 17, Dark Tide. The jockey is Muzi Yerni. And I like the booking of Muzi Yerni on number 17, Dark Tide. I think that'll be well in our favor over here. Number 2, Esquivel. Number 8, Lulu's Boy. And number 15, Magic Flower. The blinkers all come off those 3. Here's the betting. I'm firstly going to give you Lyall's numbers. Lyall like numbers 1, Twice the Storm, 5, Corvette Captain, and 13, Power Ranger. The only one that we have in common was Corvette Captain. For a banging form, Johan Janssen van Fureniard. Johan had a great day on Saturday and runs in the Werner's colour. So Corvette Captain, I think, is one that has to be put in the PA as a 6 to 1 chance. I'm going a bit off the wall here with some of my choices. I've mentioned Dark Tide right down at the bottom at 12 to 1. I think with Muzi Yerni on and carrying only 52 kilos that he's worth on warranting inclusion. So Dark Tide is one of my horses that I want to put in. Power Ranger's been a bit disappointing. Get some Corley back on. He's the guy that rode it the best to Twice the Storm. If he reproduces that, he's got Twice the Storm beaten. But I'm going to mention another horse in the race that I am going to throw in, and that is number 6, In Cahoots, who's changed yards. First run for the Stephen Moffat stable, and now with J.P. van der Merwe, who's never ridden him before. I know he's 7, but he puts in the odd good run. And I think I'm going to be including number 6, In Cahoots, at 14 to 1 into my play today. What else is there? I see there's money for Lord Grantham. That could be optimistic. I didn't put that in the race with a chance. And maybe at a push, Iron Tail, and then twice the Storm as well. Iron Tail and twice the Storm. But I do like a few roughies here, including in those In Cahoots number 6 and Dark Tide number 17. Right, that takes care of our show today, our preview for today. Thanks very much for joining me. I hope to be joined by either Lyall or Neil on Thursday, because there's more local racing. Tomorrow there's racing down in KwaZulu-Natal at Greyville. We're looking forward to hearing from the Ghost Rider for the first time in a while. So that's coming on board tomorrow. And don't forget, with our Take a Bet input, now that show will be coming up a bit later on. We'll be bringing you a place accumulator today out at the Vaal and with the relevant QR codes, etc. Thanks for joining me, Nico on Clocking the Gallop. Have a great day's racing and all the best for the day. Bye-bye.